I swear, man, technology's crazy. You spend all this money on a new setup and you still have technical difficulties, but there we go. Now we're getting the screen to kind of show a little bit better. So shout out to the stream sponsors over at CoinCatch and Coinbase. CoinCatch is what we use for leverage trading. Coinbase is what I personally use for spot trading, but they are offering more perpetual trading to people outside the United States, but a lot more to come for that in the future. And then also shout out to Teal Street, guys. This is what we use for reading level 2, the order book, the depth chart. This is what I look at every single day to kind of read some low-term time frame momentum. I know a lot of you guys do that as well. Get on over to my YouTube as well, guys. Castillo Trading. Like and subscribe. It really does help me grow this channel. I got a team of editors that's doing an incredible job with getting these live streams into a small recap form for you, getting the NPOC updates into a small recap form for you so that you guys can stay up to date throughout the whole week. You know, as far as the video series goes, Monday we like to do live streams like we're doing today, Wednesday NPOC updates, and then Friday a quick VIP breakdown segment, just something, you know, that we looked at throughout the past week, going into the weekend, going into next week. That have kind of been a little bit wishy-washy with all that just because the office has kind of turned into a nursery here. Going to try and get some things set up, but we're going to be moving here pretty soon, so things might be a little bit wonky for a while, but really going to try and do my best to keep the weekly video series going, even if it doesn't have this extravagant setup with a camera and a microphone. Maybe it's something just a little bit less, but we'll just kind of see how things go. NPOC levels, guys, based on BTC, we have a cluster up here, one up top at the highs, and then one at the low. So again, I'm going to just continue with my normal analysis, guys. We're going to just continue with how we normally do things. So going to get rid of some of these longs, going to get rid of some of these shorts, and just kind of go from here. So basically, the next area that I'm willing to long on BTC based off of NPOC levels is going to be right here, that 59262. So I probably won't be trading within this area. Again, we want the highs and the lows, the higher conviction areas, to be opening up trades. And right now we're just kind of chopping in the middle. So the next long entry that I'm looking for is going to be right around here, and that's going to be a move to the upside, right? And this is going to be where I'm going to look to add to my longs. I have taken a lot of profit off, as you guys know. I ended up taking some profit on my longs from the lows up into this area based off of the NPOC prints lower. So that's another thing and another way that you can use NPOC levels, right? Is, you know, if there's a print lower and you have a good entry lower, well, you know, to potentially lock in some profits. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do and how I'm looking to trade these. And then the next area I'm looking to short is still this cluster of NPOCs here. So let's just say, you know, we run the highs. This is going to be where I'm considering a next short entry. So again, just staying grounded, not ever thinking that I catch a top, not ever thinking that I catch a bottom based off of trading, just going to stay level headed. For me, guys, the overall game plan is to trade the range until it breaks. And right now the range is up here at 72,000 and then also down here at around this 60,000. If we can just kind of range within this, there's some really good opportunities to make a lot of money, right? Again, patience though, right? You're not going to be able to jump into a play right away and make a ton of money. You're going to have patience for the high conviction areas on the upside and the high conviction areas on the downside. And that's currently what we're waiting for. On the BTC long, I was a little bit early, but we did kind of talk about this deviation that kind of happened with acceptance back in. And that's kind of why I always say that I don't personally like hard stop loss levels, because those hard stop loss levels always get hit based off of deviations exactly like this. Because a ton of people were probably longing range lows around 61,000, 62,000 with a stop loss right around here. What do the market makers do, right? They run those stop losses, they run some liquidation levels lower, and then they make the move into the upside direction. This whole price action right here is just a really, really good example of why I personally just don't like stop loss levels, because tons and tons of people had their stop loss at these lows and they got ran. People lost money. They're afraid to re-enter into longs because they just lost on a long. And then here we go. We're up back into range, accepting into our current range levels, potentially even retesting range highs once you got deviated outside of your stop loss. So this isn't to say that you shouldn't have risk in place. As a trader, you must always have risk in place, whether it's portfolio size, whether it's your position size, whether it's percentage stop loss that you have. There's got to be some sort of risk. But again, you guys have to be open to things changing all the time, right? If you guys are questioning it, just know that it happens to everybody. It happens to me. It happens to the professional traders out there. It happens to the fucking guys over in the hedge funds. It's natural. It's a natural price action. So don't ever let anybody say that they knew this was going to happen the whole time, because if this washed all the way down to 52,000, which it was a possibility at these lows, I think a lot of people people actually thought 52,000 was a real possibility, including myself, right? But sticking to the game plan, knowing deviations happen, seeing how extremely bearish everybody was, seeing the ETF inflow and outflow based off of BTC is a very key component now to my trading, to where I watch that daily. If there's a ton of inflow on the BTC ETFs, then maybe that's a time to be starting to take profit, right? If there's a ton of outflow on BTC ETFs, maybe that's when we start to taper into longs again. So that is something that I am starting to watch a little bit more based off of my trading, because the TradeFi, legacy markets, these guys are just as degenerate as crypto is. So don't ever let people tell you that crypto trading is for the degenerate traders, because really the stock market people react just the fucking same. That's really all I'm looking for on BTC as far as NPOC Prince goes, guys. Let's see. How do you balance your trading life with your family life? I feel I'm missing out if I'm in front of the screen and my wife wants it's hard, man. I tell you what, it ain't fucking easy. You know, everybody who's a dad, who has a wife, who has kids, who trade, there's always going to be trade-offs, right? You know, there's times where I've missed trades because I've been with family. There's times where I've missed family time to be watching screens where not shit has happened. There's no real solution that I can give to you. Just do your best, be a good father, be a good husband, but also put in the effort when you can. If that means waking up hella early, then wake up hella early. Just responsibilities, man. It's tough. You know, life is hard, especially in this economy with things being so expensive, interest rates being so fucking sky high. It's hard. And I give props to anybody who has like a full-time job and doing this on the side. I shit you not, guys. This was my life for a long fucking time. When I had a job, I think this job was like 8 to 5. When I was trading stocks, I would wake up hella early. I would trade the pre-market and I would trade the first hour of the market open. So I had about 2 hours to actually trade, but being a momentum trader, all the good price action happened in that first hour. So I was able to catch some scalps. So then I would take my laptop to work, and instead of hanging out with people at lunch, I would be finding a nice area where I could eat my lunch and then also look to trade the final close. So there's ways to do it. It's not always going to be pretty. It's going to suck. A lot of people like to go out and mingle with friends and take a lunch with coworkers and all that sort of stuff. But if you're really dedicated to something and you really enjoy something, you will find a way to make it work. But let's just get into ETH right now. Enough about me. So Ethereum does have some NPOC prints to the downside, right? So we do have NPOCs at 3057 and 2871. This was another reason why I did take off profits on my Ethereum trade. Let's just make some game plans for you guys right here. So this was the long that tripped me up a little bit, right? And this is what I say where you don't have to be perfect, because I was longing at 3063 and 3119 and we just deviated lower. So my entry wasn't terrible, right? I just didn't have patience. I was too overexposed too soon. Ethereum didn't even run the wick that happened on April 13th, right? So for me, I was still looking to kind of long this setup, and lo and behold, we did jump and we were back over it. So if I just had patience and just let this drawdown happen and then was able to see that upside, I would have been profitable on that trade. But the problem was I just mismanaged the trade, and when you mismanage the trade, it fucking happens. You can't harp on it. You know, I was able to get a way better position size lower once I was stopped out of that trade initially, and then we moved to the upside and I was able to start taking profits into the upside, made back what I lost plus more. And so that's kind of the name of the game. So let's create game plans now, guys. Next area of interest I'm looking to long is going to be at the lows. You know, again, same thing that we just talked about with BTC. Look for a retest lower. Maybe we sweep the lows here, give yourself a little bit of room, and then we can move to the upside. And this would be the next long entry. And again, you may not trade it perfectly. You may get stopped out. You may be too overexposed too soon, but that doesn't invalidate the setup. Okay, and then let's do the short entry. Again, same thing. NPOC at 3313. This is going to be a next short entry for me. And again, this is kind of like that local range on ETH. So we have our shorts, we have our longs, you know, at least our setups for them. So again, it's just having patience for both of them. Right now, we're not really in a good high conviction area for me to open up a new short, open up a new long. So this is kind of what we're looking at right here. ETH BTC really fast, you know, it's just been sluggish. We had that really nice run up to our first target of 0.05201, which again, I created that target based off of this previous high, wicked it, and then back down. I still think that we can run this median ML. And once we run towards this median ML, I think it's a matter of time before we go up towards this upper limit. And that's currently how I'm looking to trade ETH BTC and why most of my focus is on Ethereum and altcoins. LDO looks pretty good. Literally just looking at this for the first time, basic trend line, we're at it, right? Deviated below. I think that LDO is actually a pretty good buy within this. We are at that area where like a lot of wicks are looking to be filled, right? We had that wick down on April 13th and not a lot of them have been filled on altcoins like SUI, SEI, INJ, Ondo, GRT, FIL, all of them. None of the wicks got filled. So again, It's just a matter of if you think those wicks are going to get filled or not. I think that they potentially might be, because you can kind of create a high and low. This is a really, really good example of having median ML support for now, having upper limit resistance, and then the lower limit being that wick. If these do drop, this would be my next entry at around that $1.50. And it creates a really, really good current range of upper limit, median ML, and lower limit here. So that's just my thoughts on it. So gonna go over SUI. So yeah, it's gonna be the same thing, right? We have highs, we have lows, broke below median ML, and then it kind of retested it, and maybe this is when we go and fill those wicks. I think if BTC retests 59262 and Ethereum retests 2871, I think all those wicks will get filled on altcoins. So that's just kind of my game plan within them. Yeah, Sol is one of those ones I felt like I kind of missed the boat on. Every time I fucking long this coin, I just fuck up. Like, I just cannot get a profitable Sol trade. You know, same thing, right? We're creating a range, upper limit, lower limit. Sol almost did fill that wick. For me, it's just kind of getting into that upper limit area. So that is a little bit of an area for resistance. So for Sol, I would love a retest of median ML, and then it can kind of go from here. Curve, I got a bag of Curve too. It's crazy. Curve literally made new lows. Like, literally made new lows from 2023, which was nuts to me on this one. But I think Curve needs time. I think that CRV is a really good bid down here, regardless. If you're looking to buy between 40 cents and all the way to the lows of 33 cents, I think that it's a great longer term hold. I actually might add some CRV if we get any more downside. I haven't added to it yet, but it makes sense to look to long if we do sweep these lows. Render I have been holding for a while. Got long into render in the 3s and the 4s. Doesn't really matter to me what happens from here. But yeah, same thing. It's hard to long into this. You know, you really kind of want to be having a little bit better of an area to be long into. So again, I think if you're wanting to long this now, back into this blue box would be a good area to belong into, in my opinion. And as always, guys, I appreciate you being here. Get on over to tradewithcastillo.com and go register for the VIP members section. That is where you're going to get all of my weekly series, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos for you guys. It's got the last 4 weeks of content on there. And then also go to Castillo Trading over on YouTube, guys. Please like and subscribe. That really, really helps me out as I am trying to grow this channel. Also, I have a team of editors. Shout out to those guys. They've been doing a tremendous job editing and getting stuff out to you guys for recaps, some shorts. And I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you guys over in the Telegram. Peace.